In the last episode, we discussed how Rama and Lakshmana reached Tataka forest and got convinced by Vishwamitra that killing Tataka, though she is a woman, is the best thing to do in the bigger interest of destroying evil and bringing peace to the area. Rama prepared to fight Tataka, strung his bow, and made a huge buzzing sound. That sound resonated in the forest, and all the living things in the forest, including the mighty Tataka, were startled. She roared with fury and ran towards the sound to find out what caused the sound. Seeing her coming, Rama again felt pity as she was a woman. He said, "O Lakshmana, did you see her offensive looks? A good person will die of horror just by seeing her. But still, I don't like to kill her as she is a woman. I'll just cut her arms off so that she cannot do any harm henceforth." By then, Tataka created vast dust clouds so that Rama and Lakshmana could not see her and threw huge boulders on them. Rama and Lakshmana destroyed those boulders into dust, and then Rama cut off her arms with his arrows. At the same time, Lakshmana chopped off her ears and nose so that she'll be harmless after losing her senses. But she continued charging them by changing her form with her demonic parts. Vishwamitra, observing all this, grew impatient as it was almost night. He said, "O Rama, sun is almost setting now, and Rakshasa's strength increases many folds during night. There is no use showing mercy on Tataka. Just kill her and be done with it." At that time, Tataka suddenly appeared again and charged them. Rama took a special golden arrow from his quiver, pointed it towards Tataka, and released it. That arrow went forward, throwing flames, and lodged in Tataka's heart. Tataka shouted loudly, fell down, and died instantly. With her death, the surrounding area suddenly felt peaceful, as if everything is fine again. Gods showered flowers, and sages across the world paid their respects to gods in jubilation. Vishwamitra was very happy with the outcome. He, along with the two brothers, spent the night there. Late that evening, Indra and other gods met Vishwamitra separately and advised him to impart all the knowledge he has about warfare and his various weapons to Rama, as he has to kill many such demons in future and fulfill his life purpose. Vishwamitra was also of the same opinion, so he accepted happily. Next day early morning, Vishwamitra gave away all the mighty weapons and astras he knows to Rama, including Brahmastra. The astras or the powers took form and appeared before Rama and asked for his orders. Rama told them to come and help him whenever he calls them. They accepted and left. Satisfied that he could make Rama all powerful, Vishwamitra led them to his hermitage, which is famously called Siddhashrama, on the same day. Seeing the sanctity of the place, Rama asked Vishwamitra to tell them about the story of that place. Vishwamitra told them thus: "This is the same hermitage where sage Vamana lived for many thousands of years. That was the time when the great demon king Bali has conquered and was ruling the three worlds. One day, all the gods came to sage Vamana, who was an avatar of Lord Vishnu, and requested him to go to the king Bali, ask him for charity, and get back the three worlds from him. At the same time, sage Kashyapa also visited the hermitage. Kashyapa paid his respects to Vamana and asked him a boon to be born as his son. Accepting his request, sage Vamana took birth as the dwarf son of Kashyapa. Later on, he went to King Bali, who never refused any person's request, and asked him to donate 3 feet of land. Eventually, in the name of 3 feet, Vamana occupied the three worlds and removed them from the control of Bali. Vishwamitra concluded saying that this Siddhashram has seen great history. Without wasting any time, Vishwamitra started his Vedic sacrificial procedures. Rama and Lakshmana stood ready with their bows and arrows and waited for Maricha and Subahu to come. For next 6 days, both the brothers stood there protecting the yajna constantly. On the final night of 6th day, the sacrificial fire suddenly flared up, indicating a negative energy in the surrounding areas. Immediately, huge cries were heard in the sky. Suddenly, Maricha and Subahu appeared in the skies with their armies and started pouring blood, meat, and other dirty things in the sacrificial fires. Immediately, Rama and Lakshmana started releasing arrows towards them. Rama released one powerful arrow towards Maricha, and it threw him around 100 yojanas or almost 1300 kilometers away to the middle of the ocean. A second powerful arrow from Rama killed Subahu by throwing him on the land. Another powerful arrow forced all other demons to run away for their lives. Immediate peace could be felt in the surrounding area. By the next day evening, the yajna was completed successfully. All the sages who previously lived in the Siddhashrama and in the surrounding areas returned to their abodes and appreciated Rama for his heroic deeds. Next day, Rama, along with Lakshmana, went to Vishwamitra and other sages and respectfully said, O best among the sages, now that this area is freed from all the atrocities of the demons, please order us if there is anything else we could do for you. In the next episode, let us know what was the reply of the sages and what turn Rama's life took because of that. Loka samastha sukhino bhavantu.